Our only hope is armed resistance. We must arm ourselves to the teeth that a newborn baby who is born tomorrow, the first gift you should give that child is a rifle. All hail Ambazonia and all hail Biafra. God bless all of you. We are in a war for our own very survival. And this is a different war. The enemies have not been prepared. Thank you very much. Thanks. The enemy has not been prepared for this generation. Because all through history, it dealt with a generation that was myopic in their thinking, short-sighted, and were interested in their own survival or profiling themselves. For us, we need freedom. And we are not talking about abstract freedom. We need freedom that guarantees for us dignity. We cannot be born in countries where the bounties of our soil and our intellectual ability is so high to give us an opportunity to live a life of affluence and a life in dignity. But we have been on the run since we were born. We've been on the run from all forms of tyranny and deprivation. Zero opportunity, zero dignity, zero hope. Even the countries where we have taken refuge, we have no peace. We have no respect, because the respect attributed to you in this world depends on your race, depends on your origin. Where you come from will determine whether you have respect or not. And where we come from is as miserable as it can get. And so no matter where you escape to, you have no respect, you have no dignity. You will remain a nomad until you die. And if you do nothing before you exit, your children, your children's children, and your great-grandchildren will continue to wallow in misery and uncertainty. This generation has vowed to stop that cycle of abuse and uncertainty that has bedeviled our miserable existence and those of our parents, and threatens the existence of our own children. Now, let me send my best wishes to our Biafran brothers and sisters. Every day I follow your plight, the suffering of the Biafran people. In a few days' time, on the 30th, will be the celebration of Biafran heroes, remembering the bravery of men and women dead and alive, those who sacrifice, those who continue to sacrifice, the 3 million dead in the genocide between 1967 to 1970. In the Biafran land today, you must remember those who were there before you, what they did before you, what they didn't do. And if you want to write your own name in the history books of Biafra, you must alter your own state of existence, and you must alter the destiny of your own children. Everywhere you go around the world, there is a Biafran. There is a Biafran village, there's a Biafran city. The ingenuity of the Biafrans in the continent is unrivaled. But when you go into Biafra land, it looks like a wasteland. A hard-working people under exploitation, abuse by enablers who have decided that they were going to sell Biafra for their own political survival in Nigeria. They have betrayed you. They have stood against you. They've given you no hope. They've turned your land into a wasteland. They've exploited your resources and did nothing. So it is time you rise up. And my good friend, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, I know wherever he may be, he knows that the spirit in you and the spirit in us, the Ambazonians, is locked in step for the liberation of our both nations and to establish for us countries and territories that are worthy of their names, that can provide for their people some basic form of dignity. My fellow peoples, and especially to our Biafran friends, you must find a way within Biafran society to work extremely very hard for the freedom of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. You cannot simply rely on the institutions, be they political or judicial institutions of the enemy. There is a way you can combine, your belief in the institutions that Nigeria provide and in your own power, and that is in public mobilization and imposing an economic cost on the perpetual detention and incarceration of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. We cannot allow the goodwill of individuals in Nigeria to determine the fate of the leader of 70 million plus Biafrans. I will continue to make his case as an individual and as a leader, and the case of the Biafran people across the world in private meetings and in my public statements. Listen, when we talk about independence, most people are thinking about creating a country, having a flag and an anthem. No, it's about freedom. It's simply about freedom. Creating the container within which you can have the right to speak. Where if you pay your taxes, it will transform in some better system of education that gives you a job tomorrow, to be a good dad, to be a good husband, just to be a good brother, just to be an ordinary guy on your own street, going to the bar and taking a bottle of beer, sitting in a restaurant and having food, and sitting with your grandma, your aunties, your uncles in the same place. Freedom is not living in exile, having $10,000, getting locked up in your house, not knowing what to do, your body living in exile and your soul wandering all over the world. That's not freedom. That's servitude. What we are fighting for is to create the condition within which our body and our soul can be in the same place. Where the ones we love, we can see them, not through WhatsApp, not through Facebook, not through YouTube. Where you can be able to just walk the streets and feel respected. Where if you decide to take a flight to any country, you decide when to come back. And where you land in your own airport and you feel good for being home. Where if somebody asks you where you come from, you are so proud to say it. You don't start explaining yourself and justifying. Because the only thing they know about where you come from is corruption, environmental degradation, all sort of evil things. So many times if you wonder why you fight and you're doubting whether you should continue, your present condition is the reason why you must fight, to extricate yourself from the present condition of enslavement, present condition of nobodiness, and just a sense of being a human being that says no to bullies. Being able to one day get a question from your own son or your own daughter about what great men and women did to make their country free, and you are able to say what you did for your own. Being able to rewrite history to reflect our collective desires. More than 3,500 of our people, men separated from their wives, boys who have become men in jail, husbands snatched from their wives, fathers taken away from their kids, and locked up in squalors, in conditions that are terrible. Let them know we are not the generation that will organize peace and reconciliation. There will be accountability for each and every one of you for the torture, psychological and physical, deprivation of liberty, inhumane and degrading treatment, unfair trial, battery, humiliation on a daily basis. There will be no Mandela in Ambazonia. There will be a Paul Kagame. Our forces in Bui, one of the biggest operations in the past years, led by General Vulture, General Mad Dog, Lieutenant General Kapo, and General Kumbo. We have been working extremely very hard in the past months to bring them together, to create harmony, and to celebrate every step of collaboration between them so that it can foster togetherness for effectiveness. It will not be easy, because we know there are thousands of people out there who exploit little differences to create a lot of noise. But we will continue to work very hard to make sure that the identity of forces are maintained, but that they can work together on every form or shape in furtherance of the aspirations of our people and in the defense of our land. In Mezam, the warriors of urban guerrilla warfare who have been fighting La République du Cameroon in the biggest urban city in the world, in Ambazonia, were very successful. They shut down the city as our people stayed home, but they made sure that at Mchuobo, at T Junction, at Mine 90, in different parts of the city, Old Town, we made sure we attacked them, any attempt to violate the laws of the land. In Meme, a joint operation by the Southern Cameroon's Defense Forces under Dr. Akwanga and the Amazonian Defense Forces went on a joint operation and assaulted the enemy. In Tombel, the forces there also made sure that they dealt a big blow against the enemy. And I know some of you listening to me, you will want me to be tried by the International Criminal Court. I don't give a damn. Listen to me carefully. I don't give a damn. I will continue as a leader to respect international humanitarian law and to make sure we conduct ourselves with utmost respect for human lives, human dignity. But La République must know that I will assault them, I will authorize assault on them wherever possible, in Ambazonia and in La République du Cameroon. No peace in Ambazonia, there will be no peace in La République du Cameroon. Wherever they plan, they plot, they scheme to attack us in our land, we will take the war to them whenever and however we know. You must know me by now. I fear no one, no country, You want to put me in jail, you want to kill me, you want to do what? Get the hell out of our country. There will be no compromise. There will be no discussion on that. There will be no blinking. There will be an end to Cameroon's presence in Ambazonia, or there will be war for the next 500 years. The world should listen to this carefully and take note that Ambazonians will fight for the next 500 years to make sure that there is freedom for them and that alien rule does not become a new normal in the 21st century. I thank the generals in different parts of our territory who rose up to pick up arms against an existing threat to our existence and survival, and have remained doggedly committed to the liberation of our homeland. There will be no shortcuts. There will be no white flag. There will be no compromise. They have occupied our land. They have close to 4,000 of our people in their jails. They are exploiting our resources. Our right to the freedom of speech, to liberty, security, conscience, and thought is in their hands. We have nothing left to compromise on. We demand, and we will stand to demand, an end to the occupation of our land. Until then, there will be war on every street, everywhere La Republique lurks, all of its interests within our territory, within its territory, associated with planning and scheming for the attack of our country. We have a right to dignity, to freedom, to peace. We have a right to the pursuit of happiness. It is the right bestowed to us by virtue of our existence. It will not be held in abeyance to us living as slaves under alien colonial rule. I ask our people not to blink. Cameroon was never prepared for this generation. That is why it's been experimenting with all methods to defeat us. But we are wiser. We are tougher. We understand the tool. We have the toolkit. We are intellectually capable of understanding what it takes to undermine them, what they are scheming and plotting, what strategies they have used before. Cameroon was never prepared for us. Bribery has not worked. Killings have not worked. Burning of homes have not worked. All forms of enablers planted amongst us as elites to do their bidding has not worked because we have the power to arrest them. Jailing of our people has not worked. Trying to portray us as terrorists, kidnappers, we don't give a shit. The greatest kidnappers and terrorists are those who have 5,000 of our people in jail. The greatest kidnappers and terrorists are those running amok on our street with armored cars. So you want to attack our forces, kidnappers? Go to hell. Leave our land. Leave our land. We don't give a damn what anybody thinks. Because for 62 years, terrorists from Cameroon have murdered students, shot them at point blank range. They've dropped grenades on armless civilians. Their arms and limbs have been chopped off. Women have been massacred. Over 120 massacres have occurred in Ambazonia. Thousands of villages burned. War crimes committed. Crimes against humanity. Genocide. Who the hell do you think you are to turn and want to call those defending their lives with assault rifles, giving them names? Ambazonian soldiers should not give a damn about what any of them think. Whatever you are called. They call Mandela a terrorist. He became the guy who ruled South Africa and set them free. They call Yasser Arafat a terrorist. They gave them Nobel Peace Prize. If we will all take the names they assigned to us and be free, don't give a damn. I want you to remain committed to armed resistance. Forget about the politics. They understand no other language. They know no tolerance. They know no compromise. They know nothing in the toolkit of democratic dispensations. They believe in brute force. They believe in bribery. They believe in corruption. They believe in all the things that are antithetical to what we are fighting for. Our only hope is armed resistance. We must arm ourselves to the teeth that a newborn baby who is born tomorrow, the first gift you should give that child is a rifle. To tell all our neighbors, to tell all those inside that we will never again allow ourselves to be threatened. We will never allow the first democracy in the continent of Africa not only to lose the democratic pluralism that existed, but to lose its own land. It's a tragedy. Armed resistance is our only hope. We will talk when they want to talk. We will fight when they want to fight. So I want to assure you that we are winning. I know you don't know how victory looks because you've never felt it. But if you want to feel victory, just close your eyes and think about yesterday. Your power. We are nobodies. We are nobodies. But we had the power to shut down our country. We had the power to humiliate these gangsters, these enemies of our existence. We disgrace them. And our forces have the marching orders. All those who enabled, all those who attempted yesterday to participate in a day that symbolizes our pain, we will get you arrested. We will get you arrested. I just watched a video of some mothers in Babanki, Big Babanki, attempting to demonstrate against us. It's a shame. And I'm glad they are arrested. I'm glad they are arrested. But I ask our forces to treat them with dignity and respect and protection. Just come to think about it. For 62 years, some invaders took over our land, murdered everybody that spoke, that stood against them. For the past 7 years, they've burnt several villages, including villages in Big Babanki. They've murdered people. I know a father, a dad in Babanki that was murdered, shot point blank range on the head. They have captured thousands of our people and put them in jail. This is what these mothers should be protesting against. To get their children back from Kondengi. To get their husbands back from prison. You will expect these mothers to rise up and ask this enemy to leave our land. But they allow themselves to be instrumentalized, to be used as bait. You don't want Amber. Get the hell out of Amber if you don't want Amber. You don't want Amber, go out of Amber. You can move to La Republique. The border is open. Get the hell if you don't want Amber. It's our land. There will be no compromise. We have set up systems that can curtail excesses by our forces. We are instituting processes and institutions that will enable our soldiers to work with our civilian population. We are working on a tax law that will make sure that people can pay some minimum regulated amount to our forces so they can use the money to at least open little hospitals. You have soldiers who have been killed because they were wounded. They had to go take treatment in public hospitals where they were taken out and murdered. You have those mothers dying in the neighborhood because of malaria and typhoid. And we expect our people, irrespective of the limitations of our forces, never to side with the enemy. That simple thing, irrespective of the limitations of our forces, you may protest about a certain action. But to rise up against the defenders of our freedom and our territorial integrity, get the hell out of the land, cross the border into La Republique. I just read a message from UNHCR Yaoundé congratulating La République so-called Unity Day. It's an abuse. Total abuse. The United Nations has declared colonialism as crimes against humanity. And for a United Nations institution to be celebrating a day of our demise, a day of impunity in our land, is a huge abuse. And there will be consequences. There will be consequences. The United Nations manipulated the trusteeship system and transferred sovereignty over Ambazonia to La République du Cameroon. Abandoned us to be occupied. And we've been treated like slaves for 62 years. And on a day that selfish tyrant took over our land, you are sending messages celebrating that day. It's like you're sending a message celebrating the genocide over Rwanda or over Biafra. We are marching forward. I am speaking to forces across the different states, trying to see how we can work together to build stronger armies that can protect territory, that can create institutions, that can foster our educational system. They take over your land through the kind of education they feed you with. We will alter our system of education as we are doing. We, in the next few weeks, providing access to knowledge that will empower our people. If you want to be a farmer, you will grow crops and be able to send your children to school and live in dignity. If you want to be a mechanic, you will have the certification where even if you fly to London, you will be recognized as a mechanic to repair a car. We will alter our system of education. You will be taught Ambazonian history. Cameroon history is banned in Ambazonia. It's distorted, it's doctored. And it's a history that breeds corruption and that breeds enslavement. A broken health system is a system that destroys the economy of a country and destroys the integrity of the country. We will overhaul our health system. For every Ambazonian sick, you will be tested, your disease will be diagnosed, you will have free medical assessment and free medical treatment. A healthy population is a productive population. A productive population creates wealth. A wealthy population has dignity. That is the essence of our struggle, and we aren't blinking. All man a place day. God bless Ambazonia. God bless Biafra.